well, here I am working on the Jeep again. But this time it's not the Jeep's fault. It did not just fail for nothing. Had a rock fly up, somehow went through, missed the grill, flew in between here and hit the radiator right there. And it's just spraying coolant out. So, yeah, I could probably put a band-aid on it, throw some radiator stop leak or something on it and cross my fingers. But that's not what I'm going to do. I like to depend on this car, so I'm going to replace the radiator. I've already got one on order. It'll be here in a couple days, so I'm going to go ahead and start working. I think this video is just going to be removal. I won't show putting it back in place because you can just play the video in reverse. But I have done this before. 8 years ago I replaced this radiator because it was leaking transmission fluid on the transmission cooler side. So I replaced it, and then maybe a year later it was leaking again. So then I disconnected the transmission coolant from the radiator and I installed a standalone radiator or transmission cooler. So just installed my own standalone unit so I don't have to rely on the cooler in the radiator. So anyways, I remember this was kind of a pain in the butt to get the radiator out of this thing, but let's see how it goes. Alright, step one, drain the coolant. Down on the driver's side, bottom of the radiator, is that little fitting. I hook a hose up to it so I can take it into a bucket so it doesn't just drain everywhere, and loosen that screw. Alright, I don't know if it's necessary to pull the airbox, I'm just doing it to give me more access. But unfortunately the bolts that go through the fender, I don't know if mine just came loose or whatever, but you would have to reach underneath the fender and grab the nut in order to take these loose to get the box out. At least for mine. Maybe yours is different, but alright, back underneath the car again. You're going to take off the lower hose, clamp there, and a clamp right here. And that's the bottom of the radiator and the thermostat. Alright, once you loosen the clamp on the thermostat, you can go ahead and just reach down, and it's just easier from up here to reach down and pull the hose off of the thermostat from up here. Back underneath, we're on the that's the fan, and then there's the 1, 2, 3 hoses. That's going to be power steering fluid. So we have a bucket down here ready to catch power steering fluid, because that fan is electric and hydraulic. Alright, just have electrical connector. Yours may not be so easy to access because I'm sure I didn't put mine back where it was supposed to be. Got it. Now the last of those 4 bolts, imagine you can get to it from underneath. Can't even see it from up here. But I did crawl under there and look, and it looks like I was lazy and didn't put that one back in last time. So lucky me, unlucky you if the bolt is there, because it looks like it's a pain in the butt to get to. Okay, so after wrestling with this for a while, it's still in there. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and loosen the whole radiator and see if having a little movement in the radiator will help me get the shroud out of here. I'm going to go ahead and zip tie that up into place, or bungee or something. Does the whole thing have to come off? I bet it does. Jeep! You... okay. Next, pull this whole thing off. Pull the whole front of the car off.
Shut up and sit down.
Got a clip. It'd be easier to just take the line off over here, I think.
Shut up and sit down.
All right, so it's out. Lesson learned. Don't take the fan off. Don't take the fan and the shroud off the radiator. Leave it on there. Disconnect all the hoses. Take the main support off the front, and all the other steps I did. But don't take those 4 bolts off of the fan shroud until you get it out. Then we can take the fan and shroud off the radiator, put it on the new radiator, put it all back in as one piece. Well, I'm not going to do the reinstallation. I'm not going to video the reinstallation. It's just a matter of shoving it back in there and reconnecting everything. I do have another video on bleeding the air, because these do not bleed themselves on the coolant. The power steering should not be a problem. Just refill the power steering once it's all, and run your steering wheel back and forth several times and keep checking till make sure that's full. But the coolant, I have another video on my page on how to bleed the air out of the coolant system on these. They're very particular on if you don't bleed the air, if you just put the coolant in and drive it down the street, you'll get a mile down the road, nothing will be overheating. So you got to make sure you bleed it right. Alright, thank you guys for watching.